Being able to be here for my mom is honestly an honor and a gift. My mom has been so good to so many people and did such a good job and continues even into adulthood of being caring and loving and a great mom. And so even though it took from my life in the sense that I moved home from living in Texas and I kind of was out of work and I really had to shift a lot of components of my life and goals that I was working on. But I also wouldn't have it any other way. And I do feel like God gave us an opportunity to really be closer and for me to be able to support her and give back to her in a way that she has done so long to myself and others. I think that I feel like we're a little bit of an outlier because I do have a lot of background in advocating for people and working in the mental health field and healthcare and working with individuals who often need to access different types of services. So I had an idea of what to do. But you're in such survival and you're in such a place of fear with also trying to have hope that it's a very teetering line. And so I think that what was the saving grace for our family, but especially me, was our doctors, the nurses, and all of the care. Like I said, have worked with so many clients, and in my 18 years of work, I have never had such a seamless caring experience. Oftentimes I'm there and I'm having to advocate very loudly and firmly, go above people. And throughout the entire process, mainly when we got to Mass General in Boston, it was from the ICU to Lunder to meeting Dr. Jane and her team to doing the stem cell to the CHOP treatment. Every step of the way, everybody was working to be on the same page. They were communicative to me. They honored that I was here for my mom and that I had some capabilities. They didn't ignore me. They always let us know each step of the way. And so even though it takes from you when you're giving and caring for somebody, especially in such a delicate situation, I felt like I wasn't alone, not just because the family supports and I have amazing friends, but everybody let us know and they were honest. When my mother was in the ICU and I wasn't sure if we were going to be waking up the next day to the machines flatlining or to my mother breathing again, not one doctor stopped, not one doctor thought, I'm not sure. They just kept asking, kept looking, kept trying. And that alone was so much hope and gave so much grace and just you thought, okay, we're going to be okay. There is a possibility of this. And so that then makes my job a little bit easier because instead of me holding everything on my own, there were not only other people to converse with and ask questions and get information, but there were other people who were caring at a level that I was. And so that really helped the entire process. Like I honestly can't even think of one time when I felt like I needed to question the doctor or the nurses weren't providing the care, which then let a lot of my own feelings and emotions have a place to settle because then I could focus on my mother and I could actually trust the expertise of these people that were handling her care instead of having to care for her and fight the system. I think it's a couple parts. I think that in terms of advocating and supporting through the process, I think that from beginning to end, not just taking one answer. Um, when we were at Cooley Dickinson, they were trying a lot of things, but we weren't getting to the answer. And, you know, because she came in with a stomach ache and it took so much to find the actual diagnosis. It took the third biopsy of going into the bone marrow, right? So it was like, okay, a biopsy, well, we think there's cancer. Okay, well, that's not good enough because she's still having these constant fevers. We're still having to ice her down every hour, right? It was like, okay, we're getting somewhere, but we're not there. She's not okay. This is not the mother that I know before sickness. And so I think that advocating, being persistent, not just taking the first answer or the I'm not sure or the we'll wait and see. It's like I need these tests and I need them now. And if you can't get them for me, then I'm going to pull in as many resources to figure out who can. I think it's also asking other people. It's such a different type of cancer that it's not so common with other people who have experienced cancer. However, you start to learn other information and at least start this route of, where do I need to go? What questions do I need to ask? And we just did that. We asked anybody and everybody. We didn't just take no for an answer. You know, we live 2 hours, but it's really 3 hours sometimes from Boston, and we were willing. You know, there was a lot we might have not wanted to change and a lot we had to shift, but we were willing. And it's very important that in your willingness and in that thought of, my goal is to help this person get life back, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then with that, doing whatever it takes, having self-care. You know, caregiver compassion fatigue is such a real thing. Burnout creates so many other health issues. And so trying to find time for yourself in it, trying to find the support for yourself, which the hospital did provide different avenues for that. There's people in our lives that want to help, and sometimes we don't often pull on them, right? So pulling from any resource, whether it's going into nature or that friend that keeps asking, hey, do you need anything? Saying yes. It's calling somebody that you already trust and just being like, it's a lot for me to cook today. Can you provide a meal, right? Where can I lighten my load other places so that as I have this focus on caregiving, I can truly give that. And then I think the other thing too is having trust. That's one of the hardest things for me, especially because of past experiences in the medical system. I had to trust these doctors with my mother's life, and I had to trust that they were telling me honestly that they were doing their best, that they were expertise, and that they were going to take it to the next level when we hit roadblocks. And if I was not willing, again, that willingness to trust them, it would have been a very different situation. But being willing, I could, again, give up some of that load and say, hey, we're actually in this together. I don't need to carry all of these bricks. They're so heavy. Let me take some load off, and let's just keep walking this journey together. And so it's really a multi-dimensional, kind of thing, because you have to pull from anything you can, and then you also have to be willing to say, hey, this is a lot. This is a very big thing. We have these little things, we have these medium things, but this thing is big, and we're not supposed to do it on our own, right? That's why we have the medical team. That's why we have multiple people on the medical team. That's why there's people in our lives, friends, family, coworkers, even community members from the local town and from the town we grew up in. Everybody was willing to do what they could to take a little bit off that big plate. I think a couple of the things, I think one of them was the ability to loosen up control and to slow down a little bit. And so, unfortunately last year one of my brothers passed. So there was already this heightened state of grief and survival and loss. And so then when my mom got sick, it heightened all of that to another level, because I was watching machines for hours, not sure if they were going to turn off or not. And, that was very, very scary. And I just wanted to do anything necessary to fix it, to make it all better. And I realized that pushing by force was going to make me sick, and that I had to work with all the things I had, like I just spoke about, and that actually loosening up that control was not only going to help me, it was going to help our family, and it was going to help my mom, and then it was going to help me work better with the team, because they weren't against me, right? And they were with me. And if I just worked from control and force, then I was going to be against them. And this is really a collaborative journey. So I really learned how to, when that tightness in the chest and that desire for control and I'm not getting what I need and I want my mom better now comes, I would start to breathe. Like I said, I lived at Mass General. I would start to take a small walk around Beacon Hill. I would appreciate a lot of the finer moments of space and time, and looking out the window on the ninth floor and looking over the city. And so I already had a large appreciation for life, but having lost my brother, I was kind of in this middle point that as I was able to really find a new appreciation for life through my mom's process, through not only trying to inspire her and to help her hold faith, but to hold the faith together. And then you kind of don't really have options. You either have faith or you don't. And if you don't, it makes everything so much harder. And so I just kept leaning into faith, whatever that looked like for me, whatever hope looked like, whether it was the sun shining or getting to see one of my friend's kids or having a conversation. All the little things that I could just feel a little bit of presence and a little bit of beauty or hope, or like I'm not alone. I held on to that. I graveled in it. I enjoyed it. And I think now, it's pushed me even more into my faith. It's allowed me to have belief in people. Dr. Jane and her team, as well as Dr. McAfee and his team, I mean, they're incredible. Like, you can tell that this is their mission and that they were given something. This is not just, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm here. Like, they're passionate, they're caring. You feel like they're your family and they're on your side, and they're every step of the way. I mean, Dr. Jane's like, if there's an issue, email me. And I'm emailing her and she's emailing me back. I'm not going through 10 things in a robot to hopefully get an answer. And so it just allows you to appreciate what you have, the people in your life, the little moments. It's made me stronger to want to continue to be an advocate, to continue to help people find answers, to inspire people. Hey, I know that's what your doctor said. Just keep looking into it. If you're not getting the answer, if you're not finding the person, like, if you want to live life, be willing to take whatever life throws at you so that you can live life. Don't give up. So I think the biggest thing is just hope and faith, and continuing to drive that forward through my own life, through people I touch, and inspiring people, because it truly was hope, faith, and prayers that got us here, because we would have never even gotten to Dr. Jane had we not had hope, faith, and prayers. And I do believe we were led to her for this specific reason, and otherwise I don't know if my mother would be here today.